Hi, this is Steve Crowley from Service Physics, an organization dedicated to organizing the restaurant industry for growth and change for good. And today we're here to talk a little bit about Kaizen. Kaizen is a Japanese word composed of two kanji, kai and zen, which mean change and good. And so really you put them together and it's just change for good or continuous improvement. It is a management philosophy that has been around for quite a long time. But it's been popularized in manufacturing, made its way into healthcare and some other service industries, but has not made its way very far into the restaurant industry. And we're here to change that. One of the core concepts in Kaizen is distinguishing between work and waste. Work is any activity that creates value, and waste is any activity that does not. So in this example of a hammer and a nail, the moment of value creation to do what the customer wants, getting the nail into the board, is when the head of the hammer strikes the head of the nail. So a microsecond. As high as I need to bring that hammer in order to do that job is incidental to that moment of value creation. So we'll call that incidental waste. If I bring the hammer up any higher than that, that is waste that I should identify and remove immediately. Just stop doing it. And then move into removing the incidental waste with perhaps a better technique, a better tool, such as a nail gun. Business activity breaks down something like this in most businesses. Most business activity is waste. Very little of it is actual value creating work. The idea here is that we want to remove waste to create capacity for more value creating work. And in doing so, what we find is that quality improves, the ease and simplicity of the work improves, and costs are reduced. If we grow our business, represented by these outward-facing arrows, without addressing our waste as we do so, we'll actually grow the waste disproportionate to the value creation, which is why scaling is very difficult and a lot of organizations become heavy and can no longer scale. There are 7 types of waste. And we could talk about each one of these for a day, but I'll give you very quick definitions to get started. Overproduction is producing anything in excess of what the customer wants. In restaurants, this looks a lot like big batch production at the beginning or end of the day. Motion is the unnecessary movement of people and machines. Waiting is things that are stuck or waiting for anything to be provided. Inventory is too much or too little inventory at any place at any time. Over-processing is doing work that creates no value and doesn't need to be done. Defects are anything that are done incorrectly and need to be reworked. Often in the restaurant industry, we don't get that opportunity to rework them. And transportation is the movement of material from one place to another. So similar to motion, but it's not the people and the machines, it is the inventory. Okay, so now we're going to practice a technique to focus on one of the 7 wastes, which is motion. Motion is a sneaky waste because it looks like work, but motion is not equal to work. It creates no value. Best case scenario is incidental. And there's a very effective tool to find it. It's called a spaghetti diagram. One of the things I love about it is that the barrier to entry is very low. You just need a blank piece of paper and a pen. You're going to draw the layout of the work area from a bird's eye view. And then you're going to locate the operator whose motion is the subject of your study, find them on the paper, and then you won't lift the pen or pencil from the paper and create all of these lines indicating that they've moved from one place in the restaurant to another. And what you end up with is something that looks like a bowl full of spaghetti. The goal is going to be to reduce the amount of spaghetti. So a couple of pro tips. One is to let people know that you are observing them, to find better ways to organize their work in their workstation. You're not there to judge them. Position yourself out of the way and as discreetly as possible, and then study one operation from end to end, or you can sample multiple operators for a few minutes at a time. Okay, so next, take a blank piece of paper, find one around you, and draw something that looks like this. It doesn't need to be pretty. There's a big rectangle in the middle where there's a flat top, a range, and a storage table. Below that on the page, there's a prep and plating counter with a sort of walkway in between. And then over on the right-hand side, there's another rectangle to draw to represent a pizza oven. So I'll give you a few seconds to complete this drawing. Okay. So now you're in the kitchen. This prep and plating counter is right here in the video. The range and flat top are over here. The pizza oven is actually off the camera over here. There's two line cooks. There's a gentleman in a black hat. We're not going to focus on him. We're going to focus on this taller gentleman with the white hat on. And when I hit play, he's actually going to start closer to the pizza oven. So right now you can move your pen or pencil kind of over towards the pizza oven. The video is about 2 minutes long. And when I hit play, it's just going to be silent. And you can track his motion. And then at the end, we will wrap up. Okay, I'll count us down. 3, 2, 1, go, and we'll begin. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, begin. So while you're tracking the waste of motion, you can also start to notice any of the other 6 wastes. No need to write them down, but just take mental note of them. So I didn't shoot this video. I found it on YouTube. I searched busy New York City restaurants, the first video that came up. And this same scene is playing out at tens of thousands of restaurants right now. And whether you have culinary experience or restaurant experience, I believe that just doing this for 2 minutes, you could probably help the situation in this kitchen. So that's it. That gives us enough to have a great conversation. You can take it from here. If anybody would like to learn more about Kaizen, reach out to me at steve@servicephysics.com. We're happy to help. We're on a mission to change the industry. Have a great day.